Good morning. This video is about our closet shelving unit design for our custom closet. And I gave this lesson yesterday in class, and this is just kind of a video to back that up. There's one thing in here that I didn't show my third period yesterday, and I did show my sixth period, but that is when we are starting the new cabinet or the new family here, starting a new family. And then we go down and we choose generic model, RFT, and we open, and it'll open here in just a moment. Okay, now once we open this, I think I had most of you just start kind of drawing in here on the floor plan reference level. It's actually best to start with the front and draw your cabinets or your shelving unit from the front. Yesterday we drew them from the reference level, which means they're kind of lying on the floor, I guess. So when you get ready to start your own design, when your own personal custom closet design, start it from the front. Okay. All right, so I'm on the front right now. Of course, to get there, you always have to double click. Now, there's a little quirk here in the software when you first go to any of these views for the first time, that it doesn't show your drawing plane. So click on the zoom button here, or the zoom selection, the little arrow right below it, and just select one that's different than the one that's already selected. Right now it says zoom to fit, so I'm going to zoom fit all. And then I get what I'm supposed to have. This is my reference level here, and my cabinet will be going up this way, vertically. So the reference level actually represents the floor. Okay. If you are going to create something that is not based on the floor, all you would have to do is change the measurement right here. If you're going to mount some cabinets, let's say 4 foot up on the wall and attach them to the wall, then you would simply type in 4 feet and then enter, and then start designing from right here. Okay, but this right here is basically your lowest elevation of the item that you're designing. The custom closet shelving is going to be designed from the floor level. Now, the design that I'm going to use in this video is not the design that you're going to use for your cabinet design. Okay, you need to select something of your own. If you use mine, then I'm not going to be able to give you much credit for it, because you're just copying something that I did. Okay, so you got to use your mind, use your head, and draw something original. Okay, now to start out with, we're going to draw the outside shell of the cabinet system. All right, now I'm going to start with a create on the create tab up here top left, and I'm going to use a model line. Now we're going to start this with a model line, and as you see, we're going to end up really drawing it twice. The first one is the most important. That is your actual two-dimensional drawing. That's what will be printed out and what will be dimensioned for the builders to actually build the shelving unit. The second time you draw, it's going to be based on, or simply going to be for three-dimensional purposes to place inside of your computer design on your home, so you have a nice three-dimensional design. All right, so we start. I'm just going to start right here at the very edge. I'm going to go up. Now my closet, or my shelves, are going to be 6 feet high, although my ceiling height in my closet is 8 feet. I'm just going to leave 2 feet above the shelf for them to store boxes and things like that. All right, and I'm going to go across. Now remember, the depth of our closet size is 10 feet wide by 12 feet deep. I'm not going to extend this cabinet all the way 12 feet to the end, because I'm going to build another cabinet unit that's going to fit on the back wall, and I have to leave room for that. So I'm cutting 2 feet off of it to make it 10 feet, so that I'll have enough room to place that other cabinet unit in the rear of the closet. Okay, because this is going to stick out from the wall 2 feet, and so is this one. So click, and then just continue drawing. And on what's different on Revit from AutoCAD is that you can click as you're drawing, and just go into a different direction, and then once you close your loop, it'll stop by itself. And that's pretty nice to do that. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to offset for our material thickness. And this is the outer shell of our shelving unit. So we're going to offset to account for our material thickness. Now, depending on the material that you have chosen, you need to know the thickness of that material. I have chosen to use a 3/4 inch multiply plywood to build my shelves, or at least this portion of my shelves with. So I'm going to offset 3/4 inch. I'm going to click on the offset button that looks like a thumb. I'm going to go to the offset window, and I'm going to type 3/4, enter. Okay, and then I'm just going to go around and start offsetting. I'm going to offset to the inside. Okay, I'm going to offset the bottom here, and I'm going to offset each side. And sometimes the computer can kind of predict what you're trying to do, and it'll go ahead and trim up some of your corners like this one right here, but it didn't get all of them, so we'll have to correct some of those corners. Alright, now I'm going to escape out of the offset command by hitting my escape button twice. You can also just go up here and hit the modify button once, and I'm going to move this deal here, this level indicator. Just move it over here to the side to get out of our way. Okay, so it looks like I got both my bottom corners got cleaned up really well. And as you can see, this bottom piece right here is like one whole piece of wood, and it is supposed to extend the full 10 feet on both all the way across, so that the vertical shelves can sit on top of that piece of plywood. Now up top, it didn't clean up so well, so I'm going to clean it up myself. And pretty much the same thing goes. First, I'm going to trim it. This is the Trim Extend tool, and it will do trim or extend. You don't have to tell it to do anything different. You don't have to change between trim or extend. You just click it to activate it, and it'll do whichever one that you want it to do based on how you click. Now, this is the Trim To line that I want right here. I want this shelf to be built to where it fits up underneath this shelf here. So I click this to be my Trim To line, and then I click the part of this line that I want to keep, and I want to keep this part. And as you see, it cut away the line that extended into the next piece of plywood. Okay, so now on that corner at least, the shelf sits on top of, the very top of the shelf sits on top of that left wall. Now the same thing over here, I need to fix this, so I'm going to trim to this line. I'm going to click here because I want to keep this part of the line, and then it trims that away. Okay, so now we have the outer shell created. I'm going to end the video here because I know you don't want to sit here for 30 minutes watching the same video. So I'm going to end it here, and this will be to get you started on this portion of your shelf, and then the next video we will go into making other vertical pieces of our shelves, and then probably our horizontal pieces and things like that.